can get started.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. Like it was mentioned, we do have a number of Cove alumni that are both graduates and currently enrolled in our program. So we are very fortunate for that connection that's been made. They're all doing a really nice job at school right now. So I'd love to take the opportunity and just share a little bit more about Shepherd's College and all the services that are provided through it. So I'm going to share my screen and we will get going here. All right, so today we're just going to share a little bit about our mission of Shepherd's College, the vocational training that's done on campus, the overall academic programs. We'll talk about student life curriculum. Then we'll round up with some admissions and financial aid conversation as well. So that's kind of where we're heading today, and hopefully by the end of it, we can kind of give you a pretty good look into Shepherd's College as a whole. So at Shepherd's College, we believe that too many individuals with disabilities have unrealized potential. I don't think that's unfair to say. I think whether that manifests in the high unemployment rates for this people group, the high percentage of students living at home after graduation, just that overall lacking sense of purpose or lacking community. All of those things are working together to truly, truly have people inside of this people group without realizing their potential. So at Shepherd's College, that is the problem that we are fighting against and truly working. Our goal is to work with students to help them realize their potential so that ultimately they can lead a fulfilling life. The really neat thing about Shepherd's College is everything on our campus is geared towards that goal. So Shepherd's College sits on about 90 acres of property in Union Grove, Wisconsin. We're in the southeastern corner, just west of Kenosha and Racine. So not too far from where you guys are at. But everything here is working towards that goal of supporting, challenging the growth in students with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We truly believe at Shepherd's that when you learn in an environment designed specifically for you, you thrive. So not unlike an athlete would be working out in a fitness center that would be challenging their growth to get bigger and faster and stronger, it's the same thing. So all the supports, all the accommodations that are in place are all working towards helping students realize that potential that as a whole, students with disabilities don't have the opportunity to realize. So we'd like to start out just by showing you a story of one of our students. This is her name's Gloria. Gloria was a member of our first graduating class in 2011. This past June, we just celebrated our 10th graduating class, and we're looking forward to continuing to impact lives. But this is how Gloria was impacted during her time at Shepherd's College. If by chance you cannot hear the video, just can someone speak up and let me know?
I wanted to go to college. My aunt got a flyer and she sent it to my mom. Well, we filled it out, and then next we knew, I got accepted.
I oversaw Gloria's career here at the college as her advisor. A fun memory I have of Gloria is that Thanksgiving, I invited her to our family's Thanksgiving celebration. Gloria assisted me with making pies, and she had just a passion for baking and just a love for people.
My relationship with Angie Howe blossomed, basically. She became more like my mentor and my friend.
The first ever field experience that committed to Shepherd's College was Country Rose.
Chef Brett McCartney came and approached us and asked if we wanted to be a part of the program. And it's like, well, sure, let's try it out. And it went really well. I mean, we had Gloria the first one. What can I say?
I immediately liked Rose. She's such an open, caring person. I was like nervous being there because I've never worked in a place like that, but I soon felt comfortable enough.
She's very positive. She takes a lot of pride in her work. She started out maybe balling up cookies or putting together muffins. Well, now she makes those muffins. She makes those cookies. She makes a lot of what's in this case.
Shepherd's could see that was a good fit for me, so I started working there during my third year. Over the course of the school year, I got to do a lot of baking. Everyone who works at Country Rose is like family.
The relationship we have at Shepherd's is important because they help us. The employees have to work together as a team with this person, and everyone has to get along. So it's a learning experience for them too. Also, the customers are a part of it. So it's kind of a community thing, and we all are blessed by it. So there's a bonding time. It's good for everyone. That's why we do it. Kind of selfish.
Rose realized she needed a new baker. I told her that I was staying in the area. She didn't want to lose me, so she hired me on the spot. I learned all life skills, basically, from living with a roommate, managing my own money, staying on budget. I met my husband here, got married. As a result, Shepherd's, God just opened the door for me to this special relationship, and I didn't know where it was going to go from there. And about almost 3 years ago, in October 2015, he and I got married. If I can imagine my life without Shepherd's, it wouldn't be the same as it is now. I would tell someone who's thinking about Shepherd's College to come here for a visit, then go ahead and apply. Because you don't know what your life will be like if you don't go for it and if you don't apply. It just might change your life like it did mine.
Right. There you go. So as you can see, some of the themes that were there is Gloria is living the life that she was meant to live now, right? She's employed. She's living in an independent setting. She's pursuing lifelong learning in a meaningful job, and she's living in community. So all the programming at Shepherd's College is geared towards that. We want all of our alumni, all of our graduates to realize those things that Gloria is currently enjoying. Since 2008, we've had students come to us from, this number is actually old now. We added Georgia to the map this past year. So it's 34 states and 8 countries. So students are coming from all over the place to experience the program that Gloria enjoyed as well. So students at campus, they really are working towards 2 goals. The first is meaningful employment, and the second one is independent living. So the way that students work towards that meaningful employment is through choosing a major. So there's 3 majors on campus that students can choose from. Culinary arts is the first one. That's obviously what Gloria chose. There's some different jobs that you can see along the left-hand side here that students have found employment in, but ultimately students are receiving instruction in all those areas. So they're learning how to bake, they're learning how to production, they're learning how to plate things, they're learning they're working in our cafe and learning how to make coffees and things like that. So their skills that they're learning it's widespread. The second major is horticulture, and again, placement has been found inside of community sustainable agricultural systems, greenhouse productions, landscape maintenance, garden centers, and so on and so forth. But the last one is our technology program. This is our newest program on campus. Our first graduating class was in 2018, so we've had 3 full graduating classes inside of that. But as you can see, the majority of our students inside the technology have found placement in the professional office setting for various companies and things like that. But those are the 3 programs. The way that it works is students would come in not having to know which program is the best fit for them. The first semester or their first year, they would rotate through all 3, kind of aligning their strengths and their aptitudes with their interests inside of these 3 things and figuring out which one's going to be the best for them. So after a careful conversation with an advisor, parents, the vocational instructors, and of course a student, at the end of the first semester, they would declare which major they would want to pursue for the rest of their time on campus. As they progress through the programming, it begins with in-class instruction, supplemented with hands-on experiences. So we have several labs on campus, whether it's greenhouses or we have our own CSA or community sustainable agricultural system. We also have bakeries and commercial kitchens, and technology center that students get the hands-on experience learning it in as well. So there's classroom work supplemented with hands-on, and then the third year it culminates by going out to an OE or an occupational experience. So Monday through Thursday, students are out in the community getting that real-world feedback from relevant professionals of what industry they want to go into. Supplementing the vocational training is the core academics. As you can see, these are all the skills that students are getting regardless of what what vocation they choose to pursue. So they're learning independent learning skills. So again, realizing how their disability influences and informs how they interact and see with the world, and then learning how to advocate for their needs accordingly. Daily living skills are explicitly taught, personal and professional development as well. Every student gets some technology classes. All of our math curriculum is money management, as you can see the rest of them. So they're all geared towards helping students find jobs after graduation. Our program is backed by the accreditor of COE, Council on Occupational Education, which is recognized by the Department of Ed as an accreditation firm. That gives our students access to the FAFSA and the grants and loans that go with that as well. We actually just had we were just up for a reevaluation through COE this year, and we passed with flying colors. So that was a big deal for us. Through COE, we have to have certain employment outcomes. So truly, students are not just trained; they're also finding jobs. So we have to find we have to obtain at least a 70% or higher placement rate in each of the cohorts. As you can see, there's only been one time in our history that what a cohort has failed to meet that need, and that was rectified with the following year. As you can see, the tech department is newer, like we mentioned, so there's it's less. There's less data on that. The last year is 2019 because of COVID. The deadlines were pushed. So that's why 2020 is not reported on here. So again, vocational training is a big piece, but also the independent living as well. So there's two pieces of our student life curriculum. The first is the daily living skills progression. So on campus, students would live in one of three settings, and the idea would be that they would progress through each one. Not all of our students make it through each setting. So some of our third year students still live in the second step because it's a safety and competency-based progression. They start in a dorm setting. It's very community-based and it's explicit daily living skills instruction. So they're cooking and they're cleaning and they're learning all the systems and that are in place to live independently. The next step would be the hall or the home. So they're living other people, so a smaller group. So obviously, as you can see, the reps of practicing cooking, cleaning, all of those good things go up. The next year, our staff support also looks different this year. It's more about hoping students are going to take the initiative, and we are reinforcing and checking in and prompting that way. It's less of the explicit, obviously knowing that each student has individual needs. They're supporting accordingly, of course. The last step would be the apartment setting, which you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. That's one of the kitchens and living areas of our Clark apartments. This is by far our most independent environment. So here, 2 students would live here and they would operate this apartment. They would run it, keep it clean, and with, of course, support from staff as well. So the idea is to stimulate an environment that they would be living in after graduation. The other part of our student life program is student enrichment. We want to encourage students to have interest and continue to grow in those while they're on campus. So there's two supplemental pieces to student life that we'll talk about real quick. Every student has an advisor on campus, and that's really their go-to person. They're the ones that's talking through conflict, setting goals of growth. They're the ones that are talking through the main source of contact for the parents. They're doing all sorts of different things with the student. We keep the same advisor for all 3 years just to continue to build that relationship and that trust along the way. We also have a nursing department who's on campus Monday through Friday. They're the ones that are caring for all the students' medical needs and also overseeing the med progression. So we get students that are super comfortable passing their own meds, and they would continue to do that on campus. While they're here, other students aren't quite there yet. So nursing would work with them as well. At first, it might look like staff passing it with a plan in place to hopefully maybe, if it's safe, and of course, to get them to pass their own meds by the time they're a third-year student. As you can see, there's also other community things. There's spiritual life piece component of our program. We do service projects and outings as well. So students can sign up for things off campus. Every weekend, they go off campus and do things like going out to eat, coffee shops, they go to sporting events, they go to fairs, festivals, you name it, and they do it on campus. We kind of have a theme on campus is be the athlete. One thing that stands out to me about our program is that our students are not spectators. They are the ones that are doing all the activities. The sports are for our students. They're not watching others play them. They're the ones that get to participate in it. They're the ones that are doing these things. So we very much encourage our students to embrace all the opportunity, for whether it's socially or whatever along the way, to take advantage of all those things so that they can grow in those areas. A lot of students identify that they do come to Shepherd's College for that college experience as well. For those interested in applying this, the application process is fairly simple. There's an application that would be filled out. We have a hard copy or an online version of it. There's several documents that we would ask for as well, a current IEP, a psych eval from the last 3 years, and a couple different references. At that point, we would have a virtual visit. So really, it would be a conversation with a staff member, an academic activity, and then also social engagement with some of our current students. So really an opportunity for us to get to know the students, them to get to know us. We're really looking to see how they problem solve, how they think about, just get to know them as a learner, and how they interact with others is really what we're looking at inside of that visit. Then lastly, there would be a determination that would be made by our team. So the determination could be a straight acceptance. It could be a conditional acceptance. It could be we want to have another conversation with the parents about something that was in the application. So there's lots of ways that it can go from that point. All right. So one of the most enjoyable things about my job working in admissions at Shepherd's is seeing students realize an opportunity that they never ever thought would be possible. So I'd like to share with you just some of our students receiving that acceptance letter in the mail, and just sharing with you the joy, the excitement, the possibility that they are now seeing for their life.
I'd like to congratulate you on being accepted to Shepherd's College. We look forward to working with you throughout the program and beyond.
We would like to congratulate you on being accepted to Shepherd's College. Oh, I got it! I got it! Yes!
Read it out loud.
No way! No way!
Read it out loud. What does it say?
I got accepted!
Congratulations, honey.
We would like to congratulate on you being application to Shepherd's College. It's the first game going.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you? Are you happy?
Yeah, I am.
So what are you gonna do?
Hey, I'm gonna go to college.
I think the neat thing about those videos are just seeing the potential, recognizing that students are now going to have a chance to work towards fulfilling that potential. And I think to me that's the part that stands out, is they're recognizing that they're going to have an opportunity, just like their siblings, just like their classmates, that they're going to get to go on to college and work towards filling their potential as well. And just that excitement and that anticipation is just pretty cool. So thanks for sharing that with us today. There's several ways that we can that students pay for Shepherd's College. We'll share a price tag after this slide, but there's several things that work towards that to really bring the price tag down. Things like SSI. We talked about the FAFSA, having access to the FAFSA through our accreditation before, through state agencies and programs, external scholarships, and then we also do offer needs-based scholarships that are internal as well. We have a financial aid coordinator who would be more than happy to talk through that with anybody and really help navigate the financial aid process. So as of this year, these are the fees for our program for the 2021-22 school year. And that's, as you can see, that's kind of a breakdown. But again, all of those financial aid pieces working together really bring that price tag down quite significantly. We also recognize that when students attend Shepherd's College, it doesn't just impact the students' growth and their ability to pursue their potential, but it also really truly impacts the families as well. So I'd like to just take a second and just share with you some family testimonies about their experience with their students attending Shepherd's College.
Trey has been my primary responsibility his entire life. Sometimes it can be very easy to switch over into treating your child like a project. Like, we've got to get this skill under control. We've got to do this. We've got to do this. And him going to Shepherd's College has allowed me to return back to being just his mom and not his manager, not his teacher, not all of these other roles that I have carried for such a long time. And it's been a much healthier relationship for all of us.
Just to see her confidence blossom. You know, we've had friends that knew her before she went away and then met her after the college experience. And, you know, they've commented on how she makes eye contact now. You know, she's more confident in her speech. That's what Shepherd's gave to Leah. Shepherd's gave Leah the skills to have her own life.
The programming, we thought, you would almost thought that Benjamin was the only student. His growth, it was much more unlimited from a potential standpoint than we ever imagined.
It was amazing for our daughter and other son to see their younger brother go off to college. They didn't know if that would be a possibility for him. I mean, we didn't know. And so for him to have a similar experience to them has changed their view of him and what he can do.
You can have a program and have all these steps that are in place and it's just mechanical, but there really is this buy-in from the staff and all the teachers that it's a calling.
And the one thing that I noticed over all the facilities we visited or programs we visited, the kids were the happiest.
Trust in the staff and their knowledge of what your kids need. I said this before. Leah, there's a few glitches, you know, first year, things that went on, and I found myself, I got to contact her advisor. I have to suggest this, or this is what I think Leah needs. But inevitably, the staff had already handled it. They had a better idea of what would work and what was needed than we did.
I think the advice that I would say is just allowing them to fully experience Shepherd's College. And then as parents, get out of the way.
To give him the opportunity to learn and to grow and to get skills and to become as independent as he is going to be able to with his disability is worth the cost and 100 times more.
It was what I wish I could have provided for her whole life, the peers and the activities and the comfort. It was wonderful.
Something that we never imagined even happening, that he was getting a chance to experience it. It was just so amazing.
As a mom, I just felt like this was the next best step for him, that he would be as well cared for at Shepherd's College as he would be in my own home.
Right. Okay. So it's always neat to hear from parents and just the effect of the program and the students' growth over the 3 years and how that manifested back at home. The comment that always stands out to me the most is it happened right away. The mom said, I got to go back to being Trey's mom. And that's a pretty powerful comment, I think. So anyways, so what's next? If you're interested in learning more about our program, our college, these are the 3 steps. Let's connect. Whether it's, you can find me on shepherdscollege.edu. I'd be more than happy to talk with you on the phone, shoot me an email, and we'd love to have you on campus and show you around our 90 acres and truly show you a program that's designed specifically for students with IDD. Next, apply. We're currently accepting applications for the 2022 school year. So if you're interested in that, I'd be happy to talk you through that process. And then lastly, May we do a signing day. We started last year where our students get to come on campus, sign their letters of intents, just like everybody else. And really, we celebrate that opportunity of our students working towards fulfilling their potential. So those are your 3 steps. We truly know the success stories that can be realized when someone attends Shepherd's College. You've seen it. You've seen some of those today. We want the same for your student. So Shepherd's has served families in the IDD community for over 60 years. We have heard thousands of stories of families that stood where you stand today and have helped hunters navigate the process. So if you're interested, please connect with me. I'd be happy to talk it through with you. Thanks for your time today. Be happy to talk through any questions. I think there's only a few minutes left here, but maybe we can.
Yeah, that was great, Scott. Thank you so much. Those videos were outstanding. Those are really add to the experience. So thank you. Questions one, how many students in the entire program and how many students do you accept each year?
Yeah, great question. So our current enrollment is just shy of 90 students. We will grow. Our school won't ever grow our enrollment on the Union Grove campus over about 110 students. So each year, I think our maximum class size would be between 36 and 38 students, so that we would ultimately hit that number. So that's our current enrollment is about 90, with wiggle room to go up about another 20-ish students. So the amount of students that are accepted are between 36 to 38.
Great. Okay. And then you mentioned spiritual life. Is there a particular religious affiliation of the college? Are you tied to a specific denomination or church?
We're just a non-denomination. So we're just a Bible believing school. That's the curriculum that's taught in the classes, and that's students go to church, and those are the churches that they go to on Sundays as well. They're just Bible believing churches. Okay,
great. Any other questions from our families? We, if anyone is interested, I'm sure that some of our Cove alumni families would be happy to also talk with you, so you can reach out to me and I can connect you with alumni families. And I encourage visiting because it's a great place. So thank you so much for your time, Scott.
Of course, thanks for hosting us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and say hello to everyone from us.
Absolutely, we sure will.
Okay, great. Thank you again. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, guys.
Bye.